name is Amy and I'm from the YMCA. Some of you may know me already, but we're going to go through a series of lessons that are going to talk about how to keep our bodies healthy. Today we are going to learn about washing our hands properly. This is so important, especially right now. This lesson is part of the Healthy Schools, Healthy Communities curriculum brought to us by the Michigan Fitness Foundation. Today's lesson is called hand washing. Do it right. So that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about all of the components of hand washing, what that looks like. Hand washing includes warm water and soap and washing for 20 seconds. It includes turning the water off with a paper towel and using a paper towel to dry our hands. Now sometimes we have to look at different options. Maybe we don't have paper towel, maybe we only have a hand drying towel, or maybe we don't have soap and water at all. So what do we use then? So those are the things that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about when and how we need to do those things to keep our bodies healthy. Do you see anything on my hands first? I do have nail polish, but do you see anything else? Do you see germs? My hands look clean, but they're not. There can be up to 5,000 germs on your hands, and they're so small that we don't even see them. So we need to make sure that we are doing everything we can to get rid of those germs to keep us healthy. Why do we want to get rid of those germs? Can anybody come up with an idea? They can make us sick. They can spread diseases to other people that we love, and we don't want that to happen. So we want to make sure that we're washing our hands. So how can we get rid of those germs? We can wash them away by cleaning our hands the right way. So right now, we're going to talk about the right way to wash our hands. So if I'm standing in front of a sink, what I want to do is turn on the warm water. I don't want cold water, and I don't want hot water. Cold water isn't going to get rid of those germs, and hot water could burn my hands. Warm water is what we want to use. We're going to put a little soap on our hands, and we're going to scrub our hands, our fingernails, the backs of our hands, our wrists for 20 seconds. We rinse our hands off in that warm water. We grab a paper towel, turn off the water, and we dry our hands, and we always make sure that that paper towel gets in the wastebasket because we don't want anyone else to have to pick up after us. So we're going to do this together. So we're going to turn on the warm water. We're going to get our hands wet. We're going to put that soap on our hands, and I want you to count with me for 20 seconds. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Nice job. We're going to put our hands under that warm water to rinse that soap off. We're going to get that paper towel and turn off the water and dry our hands off. That is the proper way to wash our hands. Why do you think we should use a paper towel to turn off the water faucet? I know some of you already have that idea in your head, and some of you are forming that idea. But we want to make sure that we do that because when we came in, our hands were dirty, and we turned on that faucet using our dirty hands. So when we washed our hands, if we touch something dirty, those germs are going to go back on our hands. So we want to make sure that we use our paper towel. I am going to pretend to wash my hands this time. And I want you to see and act it out with me and see if you catch what I've done wrong or what step I'm missing in order to make sure that we learn all of those components. Are you ready? So I'm going to turn on the warm water. I'm going to get my hands wet. I'm going to put some soap on there, and I'm going to wash my hands. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm rinsing my hands off. I'm getting that paper towel, and I'm turning the faucet off, and I'm drying my hands off, and it goes in the wastebasket. What did I do wrong there? You're right. I only washed them for 5 seconds. That's not enough time to keep our hands clean. So we want to make sure to wash them for how long? 20 seconds. You've got this down. Let's try another one. I'm going to turn on the warm water. I'm going to get my hands wet. I'm going to wash my hands for 20 seconds. I'm going to get that paper towel, dry my hands off, and throw it in the paper basket, or in the basket. I missed 2 steps there. I think you caught them. I missed rinsing my hands off, and I missed turning the faucet off with the paper towel. 2 steps missed. Okay, one more. I'm going to turn on the warm water. I'm going to get my hands wet. I'm going to put soap on my hands. I'm going to scrub for 20 seconds. I'm going to rinse, and I'm going to turn off the water, grab my paper towel, and dry my hands off and throw it in the basket. What step did I miss? I missed turning off the water with the paper towel. That's so important to make sure that we don't get those germs back on our hands. Sometimes we don't have soap and water to wash our hands. So what's another option that we can use to wash our hands or get our hands clean? We can use hand sanitizer. There's so many different ways that we can use hand sanitizer, but we always put a little bit in our hand and we make sure that we rub it into our hands all the way until our hands are nice and dry. And we want to do the same thing. We want to get up by our wrists. We want to get on the backs of our hands. We want to get by those fingernails because those fingernails can keep a lot of those germs there. And we want to keep going until they're dry. Some of my friends, if they get a little too much, they want to share with somebody else. I love sharing. But sometimes when it comes to our hands and germs, those are things that we don't want to share. So if you have too much, we just want to make sure that we keep rubbing it in. Sometimes my friends will have too much on their hands and they like to dry them off on their clothes instead. That just gets germs back on our hands from our clothes. So we want to make sure that we just keep rubbing it in until we don't have any more wet hand sanitizer on our hands. We want to make sure it's nice and dry. Let's talk about when we want to wash our hands. When do you think we should wash our hands or use hand sanitizer? We want to wash our hands when we've been touching things, maybe playing outside, and definitely before we eat or help prepare food. Those are very important times because then we're eating and we're touching the food that we're eating and that goes into our body. So we want to make sure that we always wash our hands before we are touching food or eating. I want you to think, how long should we wash our hands for? 20 seconds. Nice job. That's exactly how long we want to wash our hands for. I want you to think about when it's important to wash our hands. Do you remember what we talked about? Always before we eat. Even if it's a snack, it doesn't matter. Even if it's something little, we still need to wash those hands to keep us safe and germ-free. I have healthy homework for you. Your healthy homework is to talk to somebody, a special adult at home, and teach them how to wash their hands. And let them know why it's so important that we need to wash our hands and keep them clean. I know you can do it because you're an expert from what we just did. Have a great day, friends, and keep healthy. Bye.